Hey, alright. We're online. I think I fixed my new chat. I hope I fixed our new chat. Let's see. Let's see what goes on here. Okay. Mute that. That all seems to be going just fine. Hey, what's up, Lothar? How are you? I need to go over to YouTube and I need to see if I can find my stream. Because the other day it wasn't showing my thumbnail. It was showing like a really generic thumbnail from a bunch of streams ago. And I wasn't happy about that. In the search, let's see. Possible that I'm not up here yet, so I may have to check maybe in a little later here. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm up here yet. Okay, well, I'll come back and check here in a couple of minutes and see what's going on. Hey, alright. Good to see. Oh, it's giving me both, though. That's annoying. Okay, well, let's just go back to the old chat. What's up, Loki? How are you today? We should take pictures of your thumbnails. Your thumbnails during Hive shenanigans. I try and keep things pretty standardized on my thumbnails. Specifically so that people who maybe don't watch my streams consistently will recognize that they're being recommended my streams over and over again. And hopefully... What is going on? Oh my god. Everything is effed. They did an update to the service that I use to multi-stream, and now it's just being obnoxious. For days now, it's just been... Oops, I was muted. And then I unmuted to clear my throat. But yeah, somebody came over and just like rearranged my whole base. So thanks, whoever did that. I don't know what these ones are doing up here. What's going on? People in this hive are so silly. Who did this, by the way? Let's see, has anybody else signed up to the hive? No. We have everybody? We've got 12 people in here. Holy shit. I think most everybody is in the hive already. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who did it, but it does look much better than what I had been doing previously. Please close. Thank you. Alright, let's get our aloe veras out here. Motherfucker, pick the aloe vera seeds. For the aloe vera plants. Why you gotta be so difficult? This freaking bee, dude. It's always in the way. Why are you always in my way, bee? Sorry, Lothar, I cannot turn ore into source. That's actually a really good one on this season, though, if anybody does get it, because there seem to be way more vehicles to go through and get portable fuel from. So it seems like a really good way to get your Stardust source this time. Nixie scan. Alright, cool. Let's see. Let's put this stuff in one of these refrigerators. Boop, boop. Take a couple of these out. Boop. Oh, snap. Darkling's gone crazy. All kinds of water pumps and stuff. What we got going on over here? Hey, 8 more minutes? And then we just got these two to get. Wow, I can't even believe it. We're going to be done today. We're going to have every upgrade. Yo, what's up, Charles? How is life? How was your weekend? Nice. Way to go. Good job. Good jobba. Claim that. Claim that. Claim that. Claim that. Thanks for all the portable fuel. Tickling fuel. Finding myself bored with Once Human though, so I'm playing TNL, trying to figure out that crazy game. Yeah, I'm also finding myself a little bit bored with Once Human. It is getting a little repetitive. For a free game, being able to consume my life for most of 4 straight months, I think is pretty impressive. And this is definitely a game that as they come out with more scenarios and stuff that I'm going to come back to. But I have a feeling after this scenario is over, I'm going to be looking for a new game to stream until another scenario comes out. hopefully in a couple of more months, maybe 2 or 3 more months. So I definitely feel you on that. I was really disappointed with Throne and Liberty. For a game that is specifically designed around PvP, their PvP is really bad. And I don't have the same problems that most people have with that game, where, I think that there's too much stun locking and too much stuff like that. The problem I have with that game is all of the PvP takes place in an extraordinarily small area. Right? They get these huge fights going on where it's like 70 versus 70, and then you're inside an area that can barely hold 100 people. And so everything just gets really, really muddled and really tight, and there's no room for strategy. There's no room for anything except, Zerg ball versus Zerg ball and just smashing yourselves into each other. I really hate that style of combat. And I really think that they just did an extremely poor job of making PvP in that game any fun. Taking over the Boonstones and the Rift Stones is just a single capture the flag point. So, or King of the Hill point. So there's no strategy of trying to get the enemy team to move around to different locations to try and cap things behind them or anything like that. There's just nothing in that game for interesting PvP. They could have made some sort of fun mechanic where, when you go to fight the conflict world bosses, it's not just about killing each other to try and take over the world boss, but, some sort of point system to eventually gain control of the world boss, where, there are either King of the Hill points or, some sort of mechanic that you're interacting with, where the boss is summoning, minions or something like that, and you're killing those minions to build up points to ultimately take control of the world boss. You could make the areas much, much larger so that there's tons of conflict going on. Honestly, the best PvP in that game, as far as I'm concerned, is the world events, because they're just such a larger scale. And going to those world events is a lot of fun. The problem is they're the least rewarding out of all of the content in the game, but they're the best. That and the open world dungeons, right, going down there at night and PvPing down there is really fun, but it's because the area is huge, and so you could go down there as a small team, and even if a huge Zerg of players was trying to kill everybody, you could kind of play a little hide and seek with them and maybe have some fun, even as a small group against a huge Zerg. And so there's room for lots of different kinds of combat in those scenarios. But their primary PvP loop, right, their Boonstones, their Rift Stones, their world boss conflicts, that stuff is all just absolute garbage because it's all exactly the same. You go into a tiny little circle arena and you just get 70 people to face roll their keyboards, and whoever's got the better gear wins. And that's just absolute trash. So I don't think I'll ever go back to Throne and Liberty, because they just did. I mean, they put the absolute minimum effort that they possibly could into their capstone gameplay loop, and that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, how can that be the least amount of effort you put into your game, is for your most important system? So I am never going to go back, because it was just bad. But I will try and find something else to play. We've got Brighter Shores coming in 2 days. Maybe that'll be fun. We'll see how that goes. We've got quite a few MMO games coming out. I even think Core Punk is going to be playable at the end of this month. So I may be looking into some Core Punk. I'm not entirely sure. But November is going to be a pretty good month, I think, for some video games. So we'll see. I would love to go back to New World, but again, their capstone system, their war system, is just extremely poorly executed and needs a complete revamp. I debated going back to New World just to see the new stuff. At least that game doesn't limit the amount of PvE content you can do in a day. Yeah, so I have been playing some New World, and I've gone down into the Elysian Wilds. And the Elysian Wilds is a beautiful zone. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. And I generally like the gameplay of New World. I especially like tanking in New World. I think it's a very dynamic tanking system. You know, just because the game constantly forces you to move around while you're tanking, you don't just stand there and hold the aggro. Hey, what's up, zombie? How are you today? So, oh yeah. That's that quest is pretty good, Charles. Quest is pretty good. Yeah, so I really like the PvE in New World, but again, the gameplay in that game is also a little bit underdeveloped from a PvE perspective because there aren't a lot of mechanics going on, right? It's very Final Fantasy XIV, WoW, early days of WoW, where everything's just kind of a tank and spank. And as long as you're working the very limited mechanics, as long as you recognize the enemy's attack patterns, there isn't a ton going on, except in a very small number of dungeons. And so I just feel like the gameplay there gets a little bit boring, where it's just kind of hit your rotations and you're good to go. And so I don't know. I think there could be more done. I feel like a lot of games that are put out today are in a very beta state for years and years after they come out. And it's a little depressing. And then they never get changed. They never get updated. New World, there's a war location in every single zone in New World, but every single one of them is exactly the same. And that's what I would expect from the beta, or even from the alpha. Right? I would expect all of those layouts to be identical, because it was just a proof of concept. Like, this is what the wars look like. Here's a fun little, this is one of our war maps, and we're just going to duplicate it so that there can be a war in every zone. And then eventually, they go and they update those, and they expand them, and they make them bigger, and they change the layouts, and, they change the environments and stuff like that, because each of the zones is fairly unique. And that never happened with New World. And each of the war zones is still exactly the same. And they're still extremely small. They're small enough that they're extremely easy to traverse. And so the strategy of trying to split a group to make them go and defend more than one of those capture points doesn't really work, because they can just zerg down your group at one and then still have time to move over to the other one and zerg down your group again. If the play area was larger, then you wouldn't be having that problem. Games are focusing too much on PvP, not providing enough PvE content, or in TNL's case, limiting your access to PvE content. Also, I'm learning that TNL's loot system is extremely easy to be scammed. Yeah, TNL's loot system is absolute trash. 100%. 100% trash. So I don't think that it's a problem focusing too much on PvP content, because as of right now, until we get really, really good AIs running the NPCs, the most dynamic gameplay that you can play in a game is player versus player, because you can't predict what a player is going to do at all. So every encounter with another player is emergent, unique gameplay. And so I think a focus on PvP is extremely important. The problem is that all developers seem to be doing is just checking a box that says PvP enabled, and then just saying, we have a PvP focused game. No, you fucking don't. You have a PvP enabled game that you took no care to balance, and that you took no care to create interesting environments to PvP in. You didn't set up anything that had cool PvP rules. You didn't set up anything that had the systems that required you to focus on anything in PvP other than just attacking the enemy team. Right? All you did was enable PvP and say we have a PvP game, and that's absolute trash. You're not focusing on it at all. You're just enabling it and saying we have a PvP focused game. And that's literally garbage. You have to have something else going on. Focus on. And this is true, right? We know it's true in PvE battles because we have... what's up, Rabbit? What are you doing? Been a while since I've seen you on here. How's everything going on over there on Star Citizen? You have to have in boss battles, right? For PvE, you can't just let the enemy or let the players go fight those PvE battles, right? They've got to have crazy stuff like in Throne and Liberty. You know, you've got mechanics where you have to fly up into the air and go trigger certain things. And hey, what's up, Kate? How are you? I've been doing fantastic. Been doing really good. You know, and you've got all these fun little mechanics going on that are helping you defeat that boss. And so if you instituted something like that, some sort of mechanic, something that you were focused on, a victory condition other than just killing the enemy, then you would have a really good PvP play. That's funny. Star Citizen is being Star Citizen. It's broken. That seems like so many games today. And I can seriously get past broken games. I really can. As long as the gameplay is really fun most of the time, I don't mind broken games. It's games that are broken and extremely repetitive and boring that I just can't get over, you know? CitizenCon got us all hyped up to be let down by bugs on top of bugs. Yeah. How long have you been playing this game? I've been playing this game since the day it launched, Kate. This is the game that I have spent about 90% of my time streaming. So we've been playing the shiznit out of this game. And I really like it. And I think it's a great thing. I think everybody should play this game. I think especially if you're a casual player, this game will suit you really well. You know, if you're only playing maybe 2 hours a day, you could easily get everything that you want to get done in a season done and not feel like I feel, where I feel like I'm just doing the same stuff over and over again because I play too many hours a day. I think it's a really good game for casual players. We should get an update tomorrow that should make it playable again. Well, that's good. I hope that Star Citizen eventually comes out in like a legit 1.0 release. And more than anything, I hope that their server meshing tech goes really well. And that eventually that server meshing tech is just a really common tech. Because I think of all the things about Star Citizen, you know, I'm not terribly excited about the game itself because it's just taken them so long to develop, and I feel like their monetization practices are pretty garbage. And so I probably won't ever play that game because F you and your stupid monetization practices. But I would like to see their server meshing technology kind of advance and maybe start getting used by other games, because I think it'll be really good for the MMO space in general. Have you played any other games beside this game? Yeah, we played some Throne and Liberty. We played a little bit of New World, although that didn't really last. I think Throne and Liberty was probably the game that we spent the most time on stream. But I've played, I mean, in my life, I'm old, I'm 38. So in my life, I've played a whole crap load of MMO and survival games. But not really a lot on stream. Fairly dedicated to Once Human right now. Almost fell off there. Oh, I did fall off there. Whew. Whew. Don't you come running over here trying to explode me. Well, yeah, I am playing on PC, Kate. I am. What about the new COD? You know, I haven't played a COD game since, like, way back in the day before I joined the military. I haven't played Call of Duty in like 15 or 16 years. I'm not really interested in COD games. I'm not typically a shooter player. I'm not very good at shooters. I just don't have the finger dexterity to be really good at shooters. And so I'm only playing this game because I like survival games. And most survival games come with some degree of shooterness. That's where I had to watch your stream for the first time. Oh, I didn't realize it was your first time, Kate. I felt like I had seen your name before. I felt like I had seen your name before. Well, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Server meshing will be implemented in 4.0 by the end of the year. Monetizing the game isn't pay to win. Everything in the game, so you don't need to buy any IRL money. You know, it's not about not being able to get the stuff in the game, though. It's about how they go about making things in the game difficult to get so that people who did pay don't feel like they were getting ripped off, right? Because, like, I'm all about having to grind to get stuff. I'm totally fine with that. Want to be able to do that. But when you start selling assets in a game, even cosmetic assets, if you have those same cosmetic assets available in-game, then the grind is naturally going to start to extend to encourage people to spend money on those things. And so it's going to devalue your time spent in-game. And so even if they say, oh, hey, you know, it's not pay to win because anything you can get in the game or in the cash shop you can get in the game, that's not really true. Because if you're paying to save yourself time, then you are paying to win, ultimately. So I don't really like that stuff. Honestly, as much as I'm a fan of the fact that one's human only has cosmetics in their cash shop, I even think that cosmetics in a cash shop are a bad monetization practice because they take away from what you can add to the game, right? So either you put the cosmetics that are in the cash shop in the game and allow people to earn them or buy them and choose for themselves, which means that you fall into the potential trap of making earning them in the game more grindy to try and encourage people to spend real money on them, or you only put certain outfits, like Once Human does, in the cash shop, and other stuff can be earned in the game, but the stuff that's earned in the game is naturally less interesting and less quality than the stuff that is purchased out of the cash shop, because again, you want to encourage people to buy things out of the cash shop. And so both of those systems ultimately devalue what you've earned in the game over what you can purchase in the cash shop, and they devalue the time that you spend earning those things in game. And so I understand that there has to be some sort of monetization, and I understand wanting to reward people who assist with that monetization, but I would be willing to bet that if you ran a monetization system similar to content creators, right, where I'm going to sit here and I'm going to play this game, I'm going to talk to y'all in chat, and I'm going to create, 6 to 8 hours of entertainment value a day. And people in the chat are going to donate to the stream using bits, or they're going to become members, or subscribers on Twitch and YouTube. They're going to do all kinds of different stuff like that. And that is ultimately going to make me money off of doing this stream. And I think if you did something similar to that, where you had a, you know, if you think this game is great, help us out system, then you would probably make enough money to keep games running if you had a really quality game. Or, you know, if you just ran a monthly subscription model, right? I'm down to pay $15 a month for my favorite video game, because I'm usually only going to be playing one video game at any given time. So, yeah, I just really, in general, don't like paying for things that can be used in the game, whether it's cosmetic or not, because I think it devalues what you can do in the game to earn those things. The total solar makes it seem over monetized. I don't think it is at all. They do use FOMO and other tactics to sell ships, but it's not too bad. I mean, Thermal Tower makes crafted source not stacked with looted source. Oh wow, that's stupid. Their stacking in this game is pretty bad. They do a lot of silly crap so that stacking just doesn't work well. By the way, your channel looks very simple. Kate, I do not want any sort of assistance with any sort of graphic design or anything like that. I will do all that stuff on my own. Thank you very much for the offer, but I am not interested. That's too bad. I thought you were a real person. Womp womp. I had my suspicions, though. You deviated from the script. And you tricked me. I think in order to be pay to win, you need to win something. There's nothing to win. The entire game is a time sink. Shimps are just a matter of spending time. I mean, I disagree with that. I think advancement is the win condition of every game. And so being able to purchase your advancement is your victory, right? You're winning over the game itself. You might not be necessarily winning over other players, but you are winning over the game, and that's the point of a PvE game, is to win over the game. And so if the game allows you to simply buy that, I mean, and that's the whole point of the game, is to be spending time, right? And so if you're purchasing to reduce the amount of time you have to spend in the game, where the whole point of the game is to be spending time, then that's kind of oxymoronic. And so I think that, I mean, that's just an automatic detraction of the ultimate goal of the game. So why would you include a system at all that allowed you to skip playing the game for money? Like, if that's the way that system works, if that's what we're talking about, and the whole point of the game is to play the game, then why are we doing anything that allows people to not do that? If our game takes so long to achieve these win conditions, right, to achieve these new ships, to do all this stuff, that people feel the need to pay in order to reach those breakpoints, then we've created a bad game. What's up, Quiz? How are you today? Happy Monday. The game should naturally flow, so if the whole point of the game is just to play the game, to achieve all those things, and we have a game where a huge percentage of the population either is spending money or wants to spend money but doesn't have enough money to spend to reach these breakpoints, then we've intentionally created a poorly designed game for the sake of encouraging people to, play up to a point, get bored, not have quite achieved the next tier that they need to achieve to keep playing, and then to spend money to achieve that tier so that they can continue on, through whatever else the game has to offer. That's extremely predatory design. And should absolutely be discouraged. Oh, you mean progression? Yeah, we don't have that. SC is both PvE and PvP. It's weird because you need to buy a ship in order to play. Well, and so that's fine. That represents your initial cost into the game is purchasing a ship, right? So your box price is your first ship price, and that's fine with me. I'm down for that. But I then don't want to be buying every ship. I don't want to be, when my ship explodes, if I have to buy it again, then I'm gonna quit. Especially if there's PvP and somebody else can explode my ship. Like, that's bad. Just playing some Dragon Age today. Don't feel like playing Once Human anymore. Quiz, I think a lot of people are getting to that point. It's weird to explain, but purchasing a big ship only means you have the ship. You still need people to make it work. Or if you buy a salvage ship, it just means you can salvage. Right, but why are we buying those things? Why are we not... for example, EVE Online. Why are we not going out and finding the resources to make those things and then just making them? And why is the game... So you mentioned that there's nothing in the game that you can't get without just playing the game, right? So when I start with an extremely basic ship. And when I want to upgrade to a new ship, then I assume I have to find some sort of a blueprint or a pattern or something like that that's going to allow me to create this new ship. The problem is that if I can also buy that ship, then the developer of the game is incentivized to make earning that ship as difficult as possible. Oh wow, somebody even labeled all of these. Holy snap. Because they want to get you to buy the ship. Where's my... What the fuck? Where's my container that holds all my disassembly shit? Here it is. There we go. They aren't hard to earn at all. That's why I said it's weird. The people who really fund the game, like cult members. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I've never played it, but the monetization practice in general just kind of turns me off. I'm not a big fan of... I'm not really a big fan of anything that you can purchase in a game. I just don't think... I don't think you should be able to buy stuff that's representative of the game. I think they just truly want to fund the game. Think about it, you can only fly one ship at a time. I see your point though, but somehow it works for them. I mean, I'm not knocking people who do spend money on the game. If you want to spend money on a game, that's your money. I think you should do that. If you want to buy cosmetics, if you want to pay for power or pay for wins or whatever, I think that's perfectly fine. It's your money and you should do with it what you want. The problem I have is when companies encourage or create systems that have a bad incentivization for their gameplay. Because a company is designed to make money, and anytime they create something that you can buy in a shop that incentivizes them to make gameplay worse so that they can encourage you to buy that thing, then that is bad, because they are the ones who are on the receiving end of that money, but they are also the ones who are providing that product to you, especially if you have a box price. So say I actually paid, let's take WoW for example. Right, I pay a monthly subscription to play WoW if I'm a WoW player, but they also have a cash shop that they have a bunch of pay for convenience items in. And so when you have that pay for convenience, even though I'm paying, $15 a month for my WoW subscription, you are incentivized to make the leveling process more difficult so that I want to buy an XP booster. But I'm already paying you every month for the game. You've now created a system that incentivizes you to make the experience I'm paying for worse so that I'll pay you money. The same thing is true even with just basic cosmetics, right? I'm paying for a game every month, and every cosmetic that you make is achievable in the game, right? I can go farm that cosmetic, but also so that I can circumvent that farming and still have my cosmetic, you sell that cosmetic in a cash shop. Now you are creating a system where even though I'm paying every month for the game so that I can have access to the ability to farm that cosmetic, you've created a system where you are incentivized to lower the drop rate of that cosmetic item to encourage me to purchase it instead of farming it, because the value that I get for each dollar that I spend is saving me X amount of time farming that cosmetic. So I just don't like monetization systems that encourage the company that I'm paying money to actively make their game worse or more grindy or somehow inhibit my gameplay so that they can encourage me to spend more money. Those are all bad systems. And even if they don't make the gameplay worse. Hey, what's up, Amaria? How are you? How you been? So even if you, even if you get in the game and you think, oh, it doesn't really take very long to get any of these ships at all, in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking, have they extended this time for the sake of monetization? Or will they in the future extend the amount of time that it takes me to earn these ships for the sake of encouraging me to buy them? Is there going to come a time in the future where when my ship dies, it's permadeath and I can't get my ship back ever and I have to buy a new one so that they can try and make more money? Right? There's all kinds of potential problems with that system, and I can never know that those things aren't going to happen. And so there's a sunken cost fallacy, right? Where maybe the game doesn't do that for 5 years. And I play the game for 5 years and I spend all of this time in it. And then they make these huge changes because just like WoW with the WoW in-game shop, right? They've kind of rolled stuff out over time. There was no in-game shop when WoW first came out. And so now you've got players that have been playing WoW for 20 years. And even though WoW has made some really negative decisions about how they go about using their WoW tokens and stuff like that for your membership fee, people are still consistently playing that game all the time because A, it's a good game. Sure, people really enjoy it. But B, they're unwilling to move to a new game because they have a sunken cost in WoW. They've spent 20 years developing their characters. And so giving up that 20 years of, subscription fees and items that they bought out of the shop means that they're going to be willing to put up with more predatory monetization than, a player just now starting a new game. And so WoW sort of has this ability to slowly work in more and more predatory monetization practices. And so if you already have a game that starts with monetization that has potential to be designed to be more and more and more predatory, then that's just a huge red flag for the future of that game. If their population starts to dwindle and their income starts to fall, they're going to find a way to recoup that income. And the only way they're going to be able to do that is by finding a way to encourage their smaller player base to spend more money. And that's just a bad precedent to start with. And I don't like it. I want to go back to paying a monthly subscription. If it's a live service game, I just want to pay every month for it. And if you really want to have some way for people with more money to be able to pay more money, then create a system like we have here in Twitch where you can just gift random subscriptions, right? So if there's a person currently playing the game, then, if I have a whole bunch of extra money and I just want to make sure that people can keep playing, then I can go ahead and buy, 10 extra subscriptions or something to the game, and they'll just randomly go out to players. Or, I could specifically gift a subscription to somebody else. And that way, as a person with more means, then I could keep the game going. I think the difference is there's essentially zero difference between ships in a size or class other than their look or design. For instance, a cargo ship is a cargo ship. Sure, so that's just skins. But that's the same thing. I mean, it's cosmetics. Even if you have, like we talked about, even if you have earnable cosmetics in a game, right, you're incentivized to make earning those cosmetics more difficult if you also sell them in a cash shop. I mean, that's just a fact, right? You will make more money if you create systems that encourage players to spend money instead of playing the game. And the best way to do that is to make the time investment prohibitive for average players. If the average player has 3 hours to play a day, but it takes, 6 to 10 hours per ship you want to unlock, that means that that player has to play for 3 days without their dopamine in order to unlock that ship skin. And they're not going to do that, right? You want to be getting something every day that you play. Feels good. And if I have to go days without getting something, then either I'm going to whip out my credit card to get my little hit of dopamine, or I'm going to play a different game. And that's what they're banking on, is they're creating a system that's just difficult enough that the average player doesn't quite get all the enjoyment, right? All of those drops, all of that sweet, sweet loot that they want. And so they're incentivized to purchase. So there's a saying, and I don't know if I'm saying it exactly right, but the saying is that it's extremely easy to tell what an average person will do, and extremely difficult to tell what any individual will do. And what they mean by that is people are extremely predictable on a group basis, right? It's easy to say 60% of people will do X in X situation. But it's very difficult to figure out what any one individual out of that group will do. And so psychology has basically solved human action and human response, right? We know very well how many hours you can push a person, right? And how far you can push a person. They do it in casinos. They do it in shopping marts. They do it everywhere. Right? All of that stuff is just psychology and marketing and understanding, what the average human will do. And so on a per account basis, you could never say Survival Hermit is going to buy, this $5 skin if I make it take 10 hours to earn that skin. But you could say 60% of people are going to buy this skin if I make it take 10 hours to earn this skin. And that's all they care about. It's not skins, it's real ships. All the ships are unlocked. You just need to earn money in game. You earn money multiple ways. The best way to explain it is if you buy a ship, you have a job. So if you buy the $125 salvage ship, you can do salvage every day to earn money. If you want to do another profession, just buy the ship. If you want to be a miner, you can trade, salvage, buy, mining ship for more money or less money with store credit remaining. Right. So you earn in-game currency by doing whatever you do with your ship, and that's how you buy more ships. But how much time does it take to earn the amount of in-game currency it takes to buy that ship? Because that's exactly what's happening, is they're making it take just enough time that it's too long for you to want to grind out in-game. So then you pay real money for that new ship. Because it's extremely easy to identify what 60% of people are going to do in a given situation. Right? That is a solved equation. And it has been solved for a really long time, especially in gaming. So we know exactly how many hours we have to hold off a person's dopamine, right? Hold off them getting the item that they want before they'll break down and just pay for it instead. And it's not everybody, but it's a significant percentage of the population, so that we intentionally make it take that long. So we know, the average person wants to be making solid progress on their characters, say every 3 hours. And these are just numbers that I'm coming up with out of my head. But say the average person plays 2 to 3 hours a day. So every single day, that person, I'm here already, zombie. Or are you going somewhere else? But so every day that person wants to earn some sort of progress on their character. And it takes 2 hours. And so if you've made a good game, then every 2 hours, I should be... Is your base not right here next to ours, zombie? So if I want to make progress once a day, right, significant progress on my character, earn one item, or, pass to the next level breakpoint, or, earn that mount skin that I'm really looking at. These are all things that I want to be able to do one of those things every day. And so if you push my ability to do that back to, say, 4 to 6 hours, or 8 to 9 hours, or sorry, 6 to 9 hours, so that it takes me 2 or 3 days to achieve each of those breakpoints, then you increase the likelihood that I will spend money to achieve those breakpoints instead of playing the game to do it. And when you do that, you have created a bad game. If I don't feel engaged the entire time I'm playing, and if I'm not receiving positive feedback from the game in the form of progression, and I feel a necessity to spend money to feel that positive feedback, then your game design is bad for the sake of earning money from me. And that's garbage. That's just straight up garbage. And it is just the state of games today. That is just how games work in the modern market. Every game is built like this. Especially every live service game is built like this, but even some single player games are built with season passes and cash shops and weird shit like that. And it's just the state of modern gaming. But it's bad. It is horrible design, it is predatory, and it should be stopped. Star Citizen is completely sandbox. Your interacting engagement is your own. The game gives nothing. It's completely up to you and your imagination and friends and your encounters with other players. But that's not true. Because there are things to earn in Star Citizen. Right? There are things to purchase with the in-game currencies. There are achievements. There are equipment. There are all sorts of things. And that's the positive feedback you get from the game. And that's why people play video games, is they want to progress. At least that's why people play RPG games. They want to see their character grow, either their bank account or, their power within the game or whatever it is. Except that you can buy things with those credits, right? You don't just stack up credits and then not do anything with them. You can purchase things with those, right? So there is something to earn in the game. Oh, you're going to do regular purification, not a tower purification. I got it, zombie. I understand now. Sorry, I thought you meant the thermal tower purification. And if you can't buy things with those credits, then the game is really bad. Because that's just completely stupid design. Where are these enemies spawning at? There we go. A little nerd got inside. What a nerd. Is that the end? Did we win? Shouldn't there be an elite by now? Oh, there it is. I mean, I hope so. The ambition of Star Citizen is really good. And they're definitely at least taking an opportunity to try and do something different instead of just making the same game over and over again. So I'm really happy with that. It's great. But I am extremely disappointed in the way that they went about monetizing that. And so I'm just not really looking forward to the game because I'm not really looking forward to even worse monetization practices, which is what I assume will happen. You know, if they're willing to be this bold when the game doesn't even exist, how bold will they get when the game releases and it's actually playable and people actually enjoy it? Good job. Well done. You know what? You're right. Zombie's not in the hive. I mean, I already got my Starcrum this time. I was just helping. If anybody else needs a purification for the Starcrum, I'm happy to help again. I actually want to go check something real quick. Do a quick relog in. No, I did not get all the legendary hides, Quizza. Is Squadron 42 its own game? Or is it just a single player campaign attached to Star Citizen Rabbit? I got a lot of legendary hides, Quizza, but I did not get all of them. I think they need to increase the drop rate on those. They take a really long time to get. It's its own game. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, and that's fine. That's not really a single-player campaign, though. That's a single-player game in the same IP. If they're two completely distinct games like that. And so again, if they're marketing it as just a campaign for Star Citizen, instead of, you know, just another game for that same IP, and trying to attach the value of Squadron 42 to the Star Citizen game, then that's another manipulation, right? They are two distinct video games. If you don't play one from inside the other, then that value isn't shared. GTA and GTA Online? Okay. So it is the same game. So then do you have to, if you purchase the game or whatever, if you purchase Star Citizen, you get access to Squadron 42? Or no? Because if you don't, then what's the point? Yeah. So it's two different games. And that's just a douchebag way of going about trying to make them seem like the same game. I don't care if they're in the same world. I don't even care if they're on the same map. You've now made two different games. And you've reused a shiznit ton of assets from one game to make the other game. So, right? Because if you're using the same map and the same character models and, you know, all the same core functionality and all that stuff, then, I mean, you're really only making 1.5 games and then selling two games. It looks like the reset timer did move with daylight savings time. So the reset timers are still based on our time zones and not non-daylight saving time zones. So that within the universe of Star Citizen, it's basically a hero story. Star Citizen is your own life. In the universe, no scripting. Yeah, but everything is the same, right? The character models are the same. The world is the same. The ships are the same. You're playing through the exact same world in a single player way, which, you know, they're selling it independently, which makes it its own video game, but it's not its own video game because it's just 100% using the assets of the other game. So all they've had to do is go through and make the story for it. So they've separated the story from the sandbox for the sake of selling you the story. And they could have absolutely added every single quest that comes in the story. They could have added every single quest in that story, though, into the StarCraft or into the Star Citizen game, right? Because none of those quests rely on any assets that don't exist in Star Citizen. So they're just selling you a quest line. Which is basically the same as, you know, if you bought this game and there were no quests in it. And then you had to pay $10 or whatever to buy the quests so that the quests existed in the game. Which is insane. I would never do that. The only reason they've removed the quest line from the main game is specifically to be able to sell it to you. Because if you had to pay for the quest line to exist inside of the open world, then nobody would pay for it, because that would be stupid. I mean, do you access Squadron from within the Star Citizen launcher? Or do you have to download a completely separate launcher for Squadron? Because if it's all part of the same launcher, then it's all part of the same game, and they're just selling you a quest line. Which is garbage. Same launcher, different game. Yeah, it's not a different game. It's the same game. It's a different mode in the same game. And they're selling you your storyline. That would be like buying the original Super Mario and then having to pay an extra $10 to play two-player. Like, that's trash. What's up, Tango? How are you? I heard good things about the new COD campaign. I was thinking of getting the Game Pass for playing the new COD. I mean, if you like Call of Duty, and if you want to spend your money on those things, I think you absolutely should. But those Call of Duty games are particularly bad in their monetization practices because they make upgrading those guns virtually impossible. And then they sell you all kinds of XP boosting garbage and I hate those games. I haven't played it in years because it's been trash. Yeah, I never play. I don't think I've ever played a single Call of Duty storyline mode. But that's not why I play those games. I only ever played them for the PvP because the PvP was good until they started, you know, making a new one every year. And you were literally just buying the same game over and over again. And so I stopped playing them because I'm not trying to buy the same game over and over and over again. Oh, you mean the Xbox Game Pass? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know much about those. I got a free trial of the Xbox Game Pass when Power World came out because I wanted to play it. What a disappointment that game was. Yeah, I don't know that I would ever pay for that Game Pass. Don't think that's for me. Row. Almost let my heat get too hot. I was gonna die. Hey, what's up, Khaleesi? How are you today? How goes life, the universe, and everything? I play some games I can't get with subscription. Play for a month, finish the game. A month and cancel the subscription. I think that's a great idea. I think that is a great idea. I dislike services like that because they create a system where you can't replay those games. One of, I think, the most important things as a gamer, at least to me, is to have a library of games that, you know, I can go back to if I'm just kind of bored in general with everything else. And even if I don't complete them the second or third time or whatever, at least they gave me some enjoyment and they kind of reminded me. And so game passes and stuff like that that give you temporary access to games for a monthly fee, I think are pretty scummy. But also, you know, for people who are maybe only going to play that game one time, it is a good way to get access for cheaper than a full box price. So I'm a little on the fence there. I don't know exactly how much more money those I don't know exactly how much more money Microsoft makes off of Game Passes than just selling the games. Because obviously, right, Microsoft isn't giving you the Game Pass because it makes less money that way. That's never going to be a thing. If Microsoft is bundling those games together and putting them on that Game Pass, it's because ultimately they will make more money that way than not having the Game Pass and selling you those games for a box price. Microsoft is never going to do anyone any favors. So, knowing that, I guess the thing that I would like to know is how much more money do they make on a per player basis? And how much value. So if they're making more money off of the players, but the players are also ultimately playing more games and getting more value, then that's fine with me. But if the players are still playing the same number of games that they would normally have played, but ultimately paying more money for them, then that would make me not like the system. So yeah, I guess my question is, what's the difference between money spent and overall games played for people who own the Game Pass versus people who just buy box games? And which one of those is ultimately giving players more time and more games per dollar? Because I'm fine with the company making more money as long as the players are also gaining more value. have a feeling that's not what's happening, though. And that may just be because I'm cynical as all hell, and I just assume the game companies are doing anything and everything they can. I would buy box games if I could afford every game I want to play for $70. Sure. I would too. I mean, I go out of my way to find, free-to-play games and stuff like that. Despite the fact that most free-to-play games have some of the most egregious monetization practices, I typically just don't spend any money in those games. But absolutely, I mean, gaming is an extremely expensive hobby. And so unless you've got, a pretty large expendable income, it can be pretty difficult to purchase all the games you want to play. So I understand that. I'm right there beside you. Right there beside you. Sorry, I gotta go check on something real quick. Yesterday, my YouTube was not showing the live stream that I wanted it to show. So I want to check to make sure that I've gotten that fixed. They're just not even showing up. That's fine. Oops, I was muted. I mean, yeah, that's really bad. I mean, just as bad for gaming as screwing over players is screwing over developers. Because, like you said, you know, if they can't keep making games, then you don't have nearly as many games to play. And that is ultimately bad for the hobby of gaming in general. That's not good. Khaleesi, I'm sorry your internet's being stupid. Did you try punching it? I think you should punch the internet. That always makes it work. Just punch the old internet. I need to earn some Stardust Source. I think I don't have enough. Black means I need to just keep doing bosses or something, and I don't really feel like doing that. I was muted, yes, Khaleesi. I think you're behind on the stream. Somebody wants to be my friend. Let's see. Um. Let me go hit up my bed here and heal up. I think I will look pretty stupid punching the air. That's fine. Don't worry about whether or not you look stupid. Worry about whether or not your internet works. Looking stupid's perfectly acceptable. What's up, Party Wizard? I saw you're streaming. Nerdo. Grab a bunch of them bullets. Grab a bunch of them bullets. Oh, actually. Stop. Let's get all of my gunpowder. And all of my tungsten. I was about to make the pellets we need for the tower as well. Now I can't stay connected long enough to get back in. Oh, not worried about it. We'll get them made. They'll be all done by the time you get back on. Actually, I think we have to start up another thing here. Get something started over here. Live invite. Low key. Is this from yesterday? You're in the hive. Sleepy Party Wizard wants a hive invite. Here you go. I got you. I got you. Oh, somebody already started it. Cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. So all we need is grain concentrates. We just need 8 of them. How many we got? We got 1. We need 7 more grain concentrates. And then we'll be good to go. Oh, bummer. Bummer, bummer. That's okay. Somebody around here has corn. Somebody around here has corn. We'll steal it. I bet you Ski's got corn. Ski's got this big old monstrosity of a thing here. We'll go steal some corn from Ski. Steal corn. Plant corn. Steal more corn. Plant corn. Yeah, of course, Party Wizard. Also, I see you streaming. Super early for you. Good deal. Get after it. Doski's base is so weird. It's with all these levels with nothing on them. I'm so confused. You got refrigerators? You do have refrigerators. Is there corn in your refrigerators? Oh, we got 1 corn. Oop, there we go. Stole all your corn. Tired of not being able to equip my tier 5 stuff. Yeah, gotta get after it, bro. Gotta get after it. Gotta be a degenerate like me. Why did I scroll down? Surely it's right up here where I need it. Green concentrate, we only need 7. Boop. Boop, bitty boop, bitty boop. Cool. Got it all done, Khaleesi, don't worry about it. I mean, if you can get back on and you want to play, you should totally do that. But don't worry about the grain. We are good to go. Because I am a thief. Bammo. Begging. Oh, we need 12,000 Chaosium too. You know, I have 12,000 Chaosium. So let's go get it. Get it, got it good. Well, poop. Is there a reason why you're not running your tower? Because it doesn't really give us anything positive, Napalm. Also, welcome to the chat, welcome to the channel. Love to see new faces. Oh, you know, we have some of the bonuses where if you have higher temperatures and stuff, then you get more generator power and stuff like that out of it. But there's just no real benefit. Because this game just doesn't require that much min-maxing. So, like, even if we cranked up the temp, what is that really going to do for us, you know? Oh, somebody wants access. Of course you can have access, Cam. Yeah, it's just kind of a hassle for no reason, Napalm. So we don't really worry about it. I guess we could get more purifications in. And we'll probably have to start running it to burn Chaosium so that we get any purifications after we get all of our stuff put in. Because we're about to max out all of our bonuses. And then we won't have any way to burn Chaosium other than turning up the temp. So I guess when that happens, we could run it and burn some Chaosium. But that'll mean everybody will have to just always be eating the stew. And that'll be a little obnoxious. But whatever. We got some people with some good gardens that have plenty of stews, so probably won't be a terrible problem. I think it would be much better if the temperature outside was just so drastic that you needed the thermal tower to reduce the temperature or raise the temperature depending on where you were, so that you could just survive without having to constantly be eating foods and stuff like that to give you a need to burn Chaosium. Instead of going the other way, where they're trying to get you to crank the temperatures up as high as you can in order to be able to get your big bonuses out of, you know, your furnaces and your generators and stuff like that. I think it'd be better if you could increase the temperatures of your generators and stuff in a small localized area using the heaters and things like that. And then you would use your thermal tower to make the climate in your specific area more temperate so that you didn't have to be using huge amounts of chaosium, or so that you didn't have to be using, foods and stuff like that just to live in your area. I think would be a better implementation of the thermal tower. So that then we're looking at, just trying to make ourselves comfortable in this extremely unforgiving world. And then I think something else that they could do that would be really fun would be, whoops, sorry about that. I just smacked my microphone stand. Something else that I think would be really fun would be to make sort of a portable version of the thermal tower that you could put on the back of your truck or your 18-wheeler, and you would charge it up by having it inside the area of the thermal tower, and it would draw in some of that chaos or whatever that was being put out by the thermal tower to moderate the temperature, and then it would push out in an area that temperature, or maybe you could connect it somehow to you, and so within a certain radius your temperature would be moderated by your vehicle. And so then you could go into some of these more like Badlands kind of areas and take your vehicle with you. And then you would have a timer, right? Maybe it would only last an hour or something like that. And then you had to come back and recharge it at your thermal tower. But then you could take that small version with your truck and just go have some fun. They really underutilize the mobile buildings from the truck and the 18-wheeler in all of their stuff. And I think, if we were in a post-apocalyptic world, right, you wouldn't just walk around on foot. You would want to take a vehicle with you. Anytime you watch The Walking Dead or anything like that, anytime you're in a post-apocalyptic sort of zombie-like environment like this, your vehicle is sort of this safe haven. And once you get into it, you feel kind of safe because, the zombies aren't breaking through the glass and killing you and stuff like that. And the same thing could be true here. You have the ability to put turrets on your truck. You have the ability to do all kinds of cool stuff with it. But because we can teleport around so much, and because your truck doesn't really create a very good base of operations, because you can't summon your truck when you teleport, right? You can only summon your regular vehicles. The truck just kind of becomes this burden more than anything else because you have to drive it around to get to places. So either they need to get rid of the teleport points and make your truck your best option because, it's a mobile respawn point. You can keep resources there so that you can repair your gear, right? Like this truck works really, really well if there are no teleports. And then I need to be able to repair my gear, right? Because I don't want to have to come all the way back to my base and then go all the way back out, way over here to repair my gear. So I need my truck for that in those situations. But right now there's just no value in having your truck or your 18-wheeler built. And so they just sit here, or they have vending machines on them, or some useless garbage like that. So honestly, I would love to see this game get rid of teleports. The maps aren't big enough for me to not be able to traverse them in a vehicle. And I think that's really doing a disservice to the game to have teleport spots. Especially when you have something as cool as your trucks. But we'll see. Oh, Sleepy Party Wizard found a Chaos Weaver. Let's see if they link it. Then we can go kill it. They take the TPs away and I stop playing. I mean, I think At the very least, they should have some game modes where there are no TPs. Especially their PvP game modes would be way better if they didn't have the ability to teleport around everywhere. But even the PvE game modes I think would be better. I think there would be an adjustment period, and I think that you're probably right. We probably can't do that now because people would get upset because, you know, when you take convenience away from players, they do exactly like you said and they quit. But if the game had started with no teleports, I don't think people would have noticed. Especially because of how much value they would have gotten out of their trucks. I think people would have loved it. I think the game would have been even more popular had they not done that. I think teleport points were a terrible addition to this game. I need more fishes for my bears. They're starving. They are starving to death. I love the fishes because they're so delicious. Got goldfishes. I could eat them every day. And my mom says that's okay. I think I gotta go do some more fishing. I like that I got a nice little rainbow down here. Pretty. From whatever lighting somebody put up here. Where's my froggy at? Oh, froggy. There you are. Don't forget to sell some all-weather stew if you're low on energy links. I am not low on energy links. I have 77,000 energy links. I mean, I guess I need to get more. But we even have 180 silver ingots here. We have so much silver ore. I mean, we're good. Don't forget, if you're in the hive and you need some silver ingots, come steal them from my base. Oh, did we get linked? Did. Why won't it let me click? Stupid fucking game. So stupid. Broke my legs. Party was just trying to solo a Chaos Weaver right now. Like a dum-dum. Let's go see if we can them out here. What a dum-dum. 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 Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. This way. Need to get right up there where that road's at. And I can follow the road. Just follow my nose. Wherever it goes. The flavors of fruit. Wherever they grow. Anybody remember good old Toucan Sam? My goodness. How far up here is this? Am I the only one that uses the lantern? Yeah, so I just stopped using the lantern because I used it super early. And it was broken. And it consumed like 600 of my Chaosium. And so I stopped using it. I've just never gone back. Because I've never needed to. Get over here, big fat nerd. I'm low on ammo. I am pretty low on ammo for this fight, you're right. I definitely did not think this through. It's okay. Who thinks things through? Thinking things through is for nerds. Oh. I've never seen that happen before. That was painful. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to beat this here, Party Wizard. Where did Party Wizard even go? Oh, look at all these enemies back here. Wow, that's a lot of enemies. Yeah, we definitely need some friends. Picking up some blue things here. I feel like this is like an infinite XP glitch though. This is honestly kind of fun. There's so many enemies to kill. Problem is only being able to do 0 damage to this thing is mildly annoying. I don't think we're ever gonna get it. I love how I hit its regular parts for 200, and then I hit its weak spot for 3. That's hilarious, honestly. Uh-oh. Here come the enemies. Do they spawn off of these rocks? Do I have to blow these rocks up to stop them from spawning? I got frozen. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna succeed at this, y'all. Lots of blue drops though. Holy snap. So many blue drops. Is everybody running away? Okay. Bye, Chaos Weaver. Nope. Yeah, I think we just got to bail there, buddy. I don't think we're ever going to win this fight. Just the three of us. As entertaining as it is to fight it. I don't think we're going to make it. Also, I got to use the restroom real quick. I wouldn't worry about it, Locate, even if our whole hive showed up. I don't think we could take that thing. At least not with any sort of speed. I think the best option is just to bail. Doo-doo-doo-doo. This is the one with the double bullets, right? Who had double ammo? I could have sworn it was TPG. Or increased ammo. I guess it's not double ammo. Did I maybe just not read it? Manufacturing facilities within thermal towers range. Gain production time minus. Nope. I have plus 50%? Okay. Ah, it was Lothar. You're right. You're right. But it looks like Loki's got it too, so. Loki's closer to my base. Regular ammunition. Tungsten. Ammo. Tungsten shotgun shells. Yes, please. Tungsten rifle ammo. Yes, please. Thanks, Loki. I appreciate it. We're in X0001 on the NA region. BRX. Why is it raining so much at my house? I hate the freaking rain. It's not true. I like rain. I just really hate it when it's coming down in like a torrential downpour. It's been, I don't know, like 16 hours straight now that it's been raining. Like, can you just calm the F down? Alright, I gotta use the restroom and grab myself a little something to eat, so I'll be right back. Alright, we back. Manja, manja, manja. Alrighty then. What do we got going on here? I really thought that I was done with the folks over on Twitch trying to sell me graphic design services. I really hadn't seen very many of them in a while. But now they're getting in my Discord and stuff and DMing me again. Very upsetting. Also, for some unknown reason, my live stream does not appear to be showing up on YouTube, like at all. What in the holy crap is going on? Yeah, everything says no views. On the search on YouTube. Is it just me who's saying that? I'm so confused. Because once I go into the stream, it shows all the accurate information. What in the holy crap is going on? Sorry, y'all. I really do have to fix this, though, because there's no way that I'm ever going to grow this channel if literally nobody's ever going to happen across my stream because of whatever the stupid crap is going on right now. And it has to have been happening for quite a while, because I've been having the same problem with my restream for a while. And I just guess I don't pay enough attention. And I didn't really realize what was going on until yesterday. I thought maybe I fixed it. I definitely haven't. Why is this happening to me? Let's see, so the stream from 5 days ago says the right information. Let's go to my channel page. Look what my channel page says. For my lives. Okay, my live, or my channel page has all the correct information. So why does the search not have the correct information? Why does the search say that my last 2 streams have had 0 views? I'm so confused by what's going on. So freaking confused by what's going on. You tried using Big Brain Google? You know, I have not tried using Big Brain Google, Cam. You're right. Restream. Google search not showing viewer count on live. Let's see, if your Google search isn't displaying a viewer count on live stream, it's likely because Google doesn't directly show this information in the search results. Those platforms require you to access the live stream itself. Well, that's not true at all. Oh, that's because I hit Google search instead of YouTube. Stupid. Oh, wow. Let's go to edit. Let's make sure it is on public. Okay. What in the holy crap? I don't understand what is going on. I'm sure it has something to do with my Restream.io. Because it's not showing anything in my stupid... That thing was unstoppable. I had to go back to base, completely busted everything. Yeah. No, it takes a lot of people to get one of those things down. You probably have to at least put it out in the global chat to be able to get enough peeps. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely Restream.io. until I can get this figured out, there doesn't really appear to be any point in continuing to stream if I'm not going to be able to reach anybody who doesn't directly come to my stream through my channel. So I'm going to have to end the stream here because I've got to get this worked out. Because not being able to show up anywhere on any of the searches is just terrible. So thanks everybody for coming out today. I'm going to get this worked on and get this figured out. And hopefully tomorrow everything will be back to normal. So I will see you all at the regular time tomorrow. Hope everyone has a great day.